First, you have to remove the trim piece here. And then you can remove the two trim pieces at the two sides. Remind this, you can directly pull it out. Okay, and the same on the other side. And the last one is this one. Please be reminded that here is a clip, so if you are going to pull it out, you have to be careful, otherwise it will break the trim piece. So this one, then have to pull it. Okay, here's the clip. After that, you have to remove the inner trunk, so you can pull the mat out. Okay, so just keep pulling it. Next, you have to remove the buttons and the light. So behind the floor mat, you can just pull it. Then remove the plug. Okay, and then you can take the whole mat out. In the front, there are 4 10mm bolts that you have to remove. The first one, second one, third, and the fourth one. Okay, for the remaining bolts, they are connected to the HEPA filters, so you can ignore them. Then you have to remove the 3 clips here. First one, second one, and the third one. So before you remove this piece, you have to check whether the tubes are removed already. This is the one, and there is another one on the other side. So you make sure the tube is already removed, and then you can remove this piece. Then you can also remove this one. Just pull it out. Now you can remove the front piece. First, you have to remove the clips here. And you can take the whole front out. Okay, now, so the whole front is removed and we can start installing our kit. To remove the OEM strut, you have to use a flathead screwdriver. Tuck it in, okay, and pull it. And on the other side, same. Use a screwdriver to tuck in and pull it. Can remove it easily. Now install our strut, the strut provided in our kit. So you can first install in the top. Press it. Okay. And then on the other side, rotate it to fit. And then tuck it in. Okay. That's it. And then you can do it on the other side. Now you have to remove the lock unit here, right behind the Tesla logo. To remove this lock unit, you have to unscrew this one and this one. There are two 10mm spouts that you have to. Okay, before you unscrew this, you have to be careful. There's black metal things behind the lock unit, so you have to use your fingers to hold it before you unscrew the 10mm spout. And yeah, the space is really tight, so you need to use a short tools. This one is quite good. I can rotate it bit by bit like this. Okay, now we have already removed the lock unit from the car, and here is the lock unit. You have to remove the spring. You can simply use your hand to remove it. Directly pull it and then remove the OEM spring, and we will replace our own one later on. Before we replace the spring, we have to install our motor and the lock unit. Okay, so this is the lock unit that we are going to add on the OEM lock. We run the wires here. And then we can do the installation here. Please remember to hook this one into the hole like this. Hook it and then put it here. And this one, you can see there is a rectangle hole. Put it in. Okay, make sure it is secured, and then you can put our spring on back into the lock unit. So first put it here, then pull it, hook it like this. Now you have to install the lock unit back in place. So you put the screw with the lock unit we provided and the existing OEM screw, and also the black circle metal thing at the back. Put it back into the hole and then use the tools to secure it. For the motor, please make sure the string is straight, and then you can put it at the back. For the emergency pull wire, you can either choose to wire it to the front, and then you can access it here, or you can wire it to the holes nearby the wheels, because there are some holes that you can also easily access if the frunk is not opened by putting your hand behind the wheel. So It's all up to you. You just have to make sure that you can access to the wire even if the frunk is closed. This is the emergency pull. And then you're all set. Now take out this cable. This is the cable which is going to replace some of the original connectors, and this cable is all plug and play. So there are several connectors. You can see there are 3 types of cables. This one is going to replace the one here in the lock unit. You can plug the new connector here and then put the existing wire into this plug. For the next one is for the emergency button. You should look, find the wires which is somehow dropped into here. Okay, got it. You should plug the emergency wire into the cable and then plug the other head back to the emergency button. And the final one, the red yellow one, you should remove the existing plug here. Okay, you can see the plug is exactly the same as the one we provided. We can use the other end to connect to the existing wire. And then connect the Y connector back. Okay. And there is a reminder for this cable. I recommend you to run the cable below and going up, and then run it here and connect it. Connect the existing plug into this one. To connect the kit to the power, you have to connect the 12 volts battery here and then connect the ground here. So to remove the cover, you can pull it out and then unscrew this one. Then you can tuck the 12 volt wires here. And put the cover back. Okay, so you can see that I have already connected the power here and then connect the ground here, and that the power is all set. Okay, now you can connect all the wires to the control unit to test the frunk. You should already connect all the wires into the control unit, including the power wire, the 2 struts, the motor and the signal wires. And you have to connect the buzzer into the wire as well. You can also take the emergency button out from the mat and then connect it back to the connector. So we can do the test now. So we now are pushing the lock unit to test whether the lock is able to unlatch. Okay, it is locked now. So I will press the emergency button and we can see it is unlatched. Now we hold the button to initialize it. Okay, it's all set. After we have initialized it, we can try to close it. So you just press the button. And you can see that the frunk is closed softly. Now you can open it with the key fob. And you will see that the frunk can be opened as well. But if you're facing the issue that the frunk cannot be opened, and it opened for 1/3 or a half and then it dropped down, actually we have some ways to tune the frunk. There are two ways to tune the frunk. The first one is we can tune the force, how many forces it applied to push the frunk upward. You can see in the control unit there is a tiny little black hole, and with a button you can hold it and you will hear some beep sounds. For two beep sounds, for one beep sound, that is the minimum force, and for the 5 beep sound you can get the maximum force. We recommend you to set it to 4 or 5. And also you can set the speed of the frunk opening. Let's get the emergency button back. Here's it. If you hold it for 1 beep sound, that will be the initialization. For the second beep sound, that will be speed 2, which is the slowest one. And then you can tune it to speed 4 or speed 5, and we recommend it as a speed 4 as well. And that would be no problem on struggling the frunk opening.